Hey y'all, what's up? This is Chris from Blackstone Cherry, and you're watching CMS TV.
That's brand new Blackstone Cherry right here on the Classic Metal Show from their latest release called Folklore and Superstition. The name of that tune there is called Soul Creek, Chris. And I know you're kind of a fan of Blackstone Cherry. We had them on here when we debuted their first CD. And
Sure.
they are back with their sophomore effort, and they have that down-home kind of black label Jackal Leonard Skinner southern rock metal style. I guess that's what we'll call it.
A little bit of everything, that's right.
Right, and on the phone with us, we've got one of the members of Blackstone Cherry. In fact, this is his second time he's been on the show. We want to welcome back to the show John Fred Young. Welcome back to the Classic Metal Show there, John.
Oh, thank y'all for having me. I really appreciate it, man. And, as always, we're thrilled to get to do this with you guys.
Excellent, man. So you come back with a sophomore release, an excellent second release from Blackstone Cherry, and you guys are sounding better than ever. And Chris and I were talking about your CD off the air, and he was saying that it's, very similar to your first release, only you've kind of smoothed out the production just a little bit. Is that how you see it?
Well, I think we were, first of all, our first CD, we recorded it in Glasgow, Kentucky, right next to Edmonton, where we're all from. And, that record, man, was produced by my father, Richard, the guitarist for the Kentucky Headhunters. And, of course, my uncle's a drummer, so we grew up listening to those guys and rehearsing in our legendary practice house, which is on my grandparents' farm. And, man, I tell you what, the first record was our statement to the world that we were going to be the greatest up-and-coming classic rock, American rock band, for the rest of the world to hear. So, I mean, man, we really, I think, accomplished that, because that record has taken us to Europe and the UK about 4 or 5 times to do 2 different headlining tours. And, of course, we're going back in the fall to the UK to do another one. And our best friends, Seven Dust, are coming with us to open the shows. And a band called The Answer from Ireland are coming out with us. But you know what, man, that record really did put a thumbprint of who we are and what we wanted to portray to the world. 4 young dudes from Kentucky that had really never been out of the state line, much to play. And definitely you can tell on this new record, Folklore and Superstition, that we have done some world traveling, and we've definitely, conquered a lot of accomplishments, man. And I think more than anything, like you guys are saying, it sounds more like it's got more production to it. I think more than anything, it's just that we got in a room that had hardwood floors where you could hear the drums and the bass, and I think the sonics, the overall sound of the record is definitely, you have more clarity to it, to where you can actually hear, maybe some more intricate notes and things like that, and progressions that we're doing on this album. And we're very proud of it, man. We recorded the new album in Nashville, Tennessee, and we recorded it at a place called Blackbird Studio. And that place is owned by Martina McBride and her husband John McBride. Of course, everybody knows Martina from the country music side of the world. And man, those people, they were so nice to us, man, and they just really let us use all the equipment and stuff. And her and her husband, they collecting vintage guitars and amps and microphones ever since I guess probably the mid '80s. So we would ask for a 58 Gold Top or whatever, and they would bring it in there. And they would bring like 1930s, Martins and stuff like that, acoustics in there. It was just great, man, because we weren't limited to the selection. We had so much fun making the first album, and it was our down home, cornbread and beans, great rock album, man. And it, we keep playing these songs today we die. That's who we are. But on this record, I think, just like Zeppelin, man, they never tried to make the same album twice, and we're not, trying to leave our roots or anything like that. We just want to keep making great songs and definitely improving the songwriting more than anything. That's the whole ticket to the whole, carriage ride, is getting those songs to where people can remember them and they can become lifelong, songs to sing, and their kids can sing them. So, for us, we worked on this album with, excuse me, a friend of ours called by the name of Bob Marlette. And Bob had did these Sabbath reunion album that came out in 1999, and he did a band called Shinedown. Some friends of ours, he did their first album, and Cedar, he did their first album. So, we really wanted to find a guy that could kind of, have a grasp on where we were coming from as a classic rock, roots that we've always had. And we definitely looked at a lot of guys, and there was some great opportunities to work with people. But we thought about working with Bob. And he also did some stuff, man, with Glenn Hughes and Tony Iommi and Kenny Arnoff on an album you guys might remember called Fuse. It came out a couple years ago. And we were just really big fans of that album, too. So working with Bob, man, was cool because he really helped us dig up even more of the bones in the backyard that we were kind of overlooking. Because, when you're from an area, you start kind of blending your backgrounds into your daily life. And for us, we're from a great part of the country that's got, about 7 different geographical regions that make up the state of Kentucky. So we live in a part, it's actually south central Kentucky, it's called the Pennywile, and that's where most of your green hills and your caves are. And you guys might have heard the last song on the album called The Ghost of Floyd Collins, and this song is about a cave explorer back in the 1920s who was a poor boy from Kentucky, and he was one of the bravest men to ever walk the state. He actually discovered entranceways into the back of Mammoth Cave. And for all who are not familiar with Mammoth Cave, that is the 7th wonder of that's the biggest non-man-made cave system has ever been discovered underground, and it sits about 15 minutes from where we live in South Central Kentucky. And Floyd Collins was actually one of those guys that would actually dig down in, and he, back in the 20s, the cave exploration days were very, very, they were very prosperous. And if you found a cave entrance, if it was on your land, you became, you had a opportunity to have revenue coming in from tourists. And so Mammoth Cave had been always, been there, and it was discovered earlier on. They were always trying to find ways to derail tourists from, Mammoth Cave and come to the side caves, So it was kind of like a Hatfield McCoy type thing with the cave explorer. So we wanted to write a song about Floyd because he actually got caught down in a cave and down in Sand Cave, and he actually died down there. So this was a very big time in history. It was actually in 1926, and about 10,000 people from all over the world came to Cave City to Mammoth Cave to see, this explorer Floyd Collins who had been trapped in the cave. So, actually, a lot of people, wondered if they could have actually sawed his leg off and got him out, amputated on him. But there was a lot of talk that some people had actually kept him down there because, from an economic standpoint of making money from the people coming in from all over the world, So, we'll never really know, but we're all about heritage and writing songs that, tell tales of our area and the local folk tales and stuff like that. So it's just a little bit more deeper than your cliche rock and roll, sex, drugs, and whatever, So, but I think on this album we've definitely come a long way in the songwriting, and we're very, very, very proud of it.
Well, John, Fred, I think you've answered all the questions me and the next 4 interviewers would have for you. So,
there you go. Man, I'm long-winded. Y'all know that, man. When I get on here, I can't shut up, man.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Hey metalheads, tired of waiting for new episodes? Crave the real raw classic metal show? For just $4.99 a month, you can become a CMS VIP. You get every episode a full week early, completely uncensored, and 100% commercial free. It's the only place to interact directly with the show, plus you score the Fast Pass, so your song requests get bumped straight to the head of the line on every live version. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe right now at classicmetalshow.locals.com and become a CMS VIP today.
Well, dude, the thing about folklore and superstition to me is where the first album was a bit heavier, this one almost feels, you guys took a lot of comparisons last time to like Black Label Society. I think this time a lot of people are going to lean more towards Zach's other project, The Pride and Glory. Is that kind of fit where you think it is?
Well, man, I tell you what, we love Zach, and good Lord, we were on tour with him for 3 months, and you know, man, we really, honest to God, didn't listen to anything growing up, much new rock music besides, you know, Zach and you know, the Seven Dust guys, and man, to get to tour with both those bands, become great friends with them, it was definitely a big honor for us. But the thing is, man, a lot of people compare us to Black Label, and I think, you know, talking to Zach too, I think a lot of the reason people have put us as a comparison to Black Label was just because of the fact that Zach was influenced by so much Southern rock music as well as we were, and I think there's not too many people to compare each other in today's times that are trying to carry on some form of Southern rock, and I think Zach definitely, of course, with Pride and Glory, he, you know, made that record, man, and that was more of a Southern rock record, and you know, some of the later Black Label stuff was more, you know, your heavy rock type stuff. But man, I mean, you know, we were so influenced by Robert Johnson and Lightning Hopkins and, you know, Son House and all the great Delta Blues guys, man, and even the dudes like Freddie King and you know, the Motown Cats, Aretha and the Temptations and stuff. So I mean, just to compare us to Black Label or to compare Black Label to others, I don't think it does it much justice, you know, because I do think we are very akin because we are carrying the torch for Southern rock and very deeply influenced rock music. I think that's why people get us, you know, sounding alike sometimes. So, but that's cool, man, you know.
Sure. Well, John Fred, I do need to ask you, man, are your tunes hummable?
Hummable?
Yeah.
Well, I would like to think they are. Do you think they are?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well,
thank you, man. You got to be able to hum it, man. If you can't go down the road to Walmart, man, and hum it behind the steering wheel, it won't make you get out and you know, go buy the record, man. And that's the thing I was talking about with the songwriting on this album. We just want to make sure that people had a great idea of how we had tried to, you know, even push the songwriting even better. So we're very proud of it, and I hope people all over the world can hum it.
Well, John Fred Young, and not to get you mixed up with John Young, but I hope you're not feeling the effects of the tail end of Hurricane Gustav out there. It sounds like you're about ready to blow away.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Actually, we're in New Mexico right now, but we were in Amarillo, Texas, yesterday. And man, I tell you what, that thing was pretty awful, man. I feel bad because we have a lot of friends down that area of Beaumont, Texas, and Lake Charles, and I think some of them had to evacuate. They came to see us the other night when we were in Mississippi playing, and you know, man, it's a bad thing, but I think if people can pull together, I think, you know, definitely, and take precautions that are necessary, you know, I think that we can get through it.
All right, man. Well, what you're on what record label? I know that you're on
Roadrunner.
Yeah, Roadrunner. You're on Roadrunner Records. Have they been pretty good to you about promoting you and getting you out there and getting you hooked up with some package shows and stuff?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, you know, it's a good home to be on because you got a lot of, you know, different genres of rock music and rock bands. So, you know, we're happy to be there.
Excellent. Well, where can people find out about Black Stone Cherry? You got a website out there, a MySpace?
Yeah, Yeah, well, the great thing is, man, we do our own MySpace, and it's just myspace.com/BlackstoneCherry. And you can go on there and write us, and you can find out all the tour date information. And we actually do have a .com, blackstonecherry.com. You can order T-shirts, and it is actually ran by somebody else. And so we actually do our MySpace. And when you do send us, comments, we do read them, and we do, reply when we can. So, and we appreciate it, too, because we like to hear from the people.
Excellent.
And actually, man, this new album, Folklore and Superstition, you can get it everywhere. You can get it in your Walmarts, your FYEs, your Best Buys, your mom and pop's music stores. So, and you can also order it offline, too.
Excellent. All right, well, the name of the band, Blackstone Cherry, brand new CD from them called Folklore Superstition, and well, John Fred Young, we'd like you to pick a departing song and take us out of this interview.
Off our album?
Off your new album.
All right. Let's do Long Sleeve. How about that?
Okay, what about that song?
That's a song that a good friend of ours back home, he's an older guy. He's about 40. Well, he kicked my butt if I called him older, but he has been in the Army for a long time, and he finally retired. And he's just a very good friend of ours, and just hearing stories from his day in combat really makes you appreciate your opportunity to have freedom of your everyday life, and it makes you, really appreciate the opportunity that we get to have freedom and go to school and do everything we want to do, that's legal. So, and also, the story of the song Long Sleeves is your mom or your dad or whoever might tell you, your grandma might tell you to always put on long sleeves because you don't know what the weather's going to be like. And you're always like, Mom, I'll just wear short sleeves, it'll be fine. But, nothing can prepare you for what you might see in this world. And, I think people can appreciate that song for that.
All right, excellent. Well, go pick up the new Blackstone Cherry Folklore Superstition. And this is a new song from that CD just called Long Sleeve, exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.
Looking for your daily dose of classic metal? Follow the Classic Metal Show on X at x.com/CMSRocks. Get the latest classic metal news, honest opinions, exclusive clips, and full episodes of the Classic Metal Show. Want to interact with the show? This is the place to do it. X is the one mainstream social media platform we actively focus on, making it the best way to connect directly with us. Follow now at x.com/CMSRocks and join the conversation.